That bar is virtually brand new. I want to welcome you back to the Spruce Stomper YouTube channel where we're live and well. Viewer Jess Cole left a comment, Spruce Stomper, why no videos? We've taken on a couple of new endeavors that have proven to be substantially time demanding, but a man is trying to build an empire, so it takes a second or two. But what we do have time for still is garage sales. So let's have a look at what's in this box. Now, as we move forward, I'm gonna hide what I paid for it. As we move forward into me being able to tell you a little bit more about our new endeavors, as we find new ways to make a dollar and move the Spruce Stomper ship forward, we'll give you a shop tour and update. But for now, holy snikes, look at this. I'll tell you, what have we found? Well, none other than an LX30 Homelite Bandit crafted in the US of A. Now, I don't want you guys to feel like we're keeping secrets from you. It's definitely not a secret, but you know, it's just like baking a cake. You don't pull it out of the oven until it's ready. And that's the kind of deal that we're working with here. A guy gets pulled in many directions for many different opportunities. And I absolutely 1000% love being self-employed, because not only do you build your own boat, decide the direction that you're gonna row it, you're also solely responsible if it sinks. So we're doing our best to keep things afloat. This was actually squeezed. I'll tell you, what's in this box is wonderful. Now, I haven't researched this too much. If somebody knows anything about the LX30 Homelite Bandit, and truly as we dig into this, you will see it is 1000% a homeowner grade saw. It has a couple of safety features. Let me know in the comments what you know about it. This was on the way to the dump for contracting. We're getting rid of materials. There's a yard sale sign up. Who am I to pass up a classy yard sale? So of course, the saw itself, now let's not overlook, this whole thing came in its original case, okay? It says Homelite right on it, registered trademark. I paid 25 bucks, I did not haggle. It was a very sweet old lady. She was moving, she was clearing out, so all original. Back in the day when tools actually came with accessories, okay, and not just the bare minimum. So this, for those of you that don't recognize, this is a saw file guide. It clamps on the bar like so. You can set the angle and you fasten your file in there, and like this she goes. The original saw file guide. There is about 4 million versions of this now. And to be truthful, even though I'm not that good at it, I just freehand file, and it hasn't let me down yet. The filing guide, the saw we'll dig into in a second. Chainsaw wrench, spare chain, which is to be determined if it actually fits this saw. I kind of got the impression they might have just thrown it in the box, but it's in there nevertheless. A wrench, I don't know. Well, let's check. The wrench, does it fit? Oh my God, it fits even. So the original wrench, that and this, I'll tell you, in the words of our friend Wrangler Star, this would give you the fizz. These are original plastic bottles. And the difference between these plastic bottles and the plastic bottles that come with the Scamazon Soup Mix chainsaw, this is made of material that is meant to last a second or two. I think we may have identified our first problem here. We'll get into that in a second. That one was for the oil, and this one, well, this one also was apparently for the oil. So they both had oil in them, and the wrong kind of oil. Let's dig into that. And, come on, a spare plug, albeit not a good looking spare plug. I'll tell you what though, I absolutely love being busy. And busy is not even the right word to put it. I mean, a lot of people say they're busy, and they're actually just kind of filling their time with putts around things, in my opinion. I mean, I am engaged. I'll tell you, we're still working the same construction project. If you're a few videos behind, which you're probably not, because I'm a few videos behind, haven't given you anything to really chew on. The video that we put out back in February of tearing out a jacuzzi tub, well, that contracting job is still continuing. We've done a whole heck of a lot of things at that house. We are just finalizing a couple of bathrooms. Took forever. Dang countertop of all things. Threw a wrench in the works. Now this Homelite Bandit, of course, just a little top handle saw. 30, I looked it up, and funny enough, when I did look up this saw, not only did I get some of the specs, but there must have been about, in the first page of the old Google search, there must have been 3 or 4 complete parts manuals for this thing. I never get that lucky, ever. Most of the time I'll Google search something to death and I will never come across the right thing. So geared towards the homeowner, even in the literature, it's just a little tiny at-home saw. And what really gives it away, you're never gonna see this ever. I don't think, I've never seen it anywhere. This is what they call the safe tip. It even says on it, safety tip, our registered trademark of Homelite back in the day, anti-kickback. So you can't be dinking with the tip of the saw, even though we all do it. And luckily it just bolts on. So I'm pretty sure we'll just be getting rid of that if this works at all. Okay, if you're watching this and you've made it this far, I want to save you a little bit of heartbreak. This is more of a have a quick beer and watch me muck with this saw, quick and dirty. It's not going to be a full repair, get this thing the whole 9 yards. This has simply been done out of, well, impatience, because I really want to see if it just works and see if I got done dirty in the old garage sale. Now, the ones I looked up, some of them had a primer bulb on the fuel tank. This one does not. So of course, that's just one thing less to go rotten. The oiler, it does have an automatic oiler on this one, but I guess the LX30 Homelite, it came with a couple of different options. Some of them actually had an external, what they call a duckbill oiler, just because of the shape, and you squeeze it like a pump. So it's an actual manual oiler that you got to remember to squeeze from time to time. I never remember if circle or line is on or off. I can't remember. Is that red for danger? Pretty sure. Problem number 1, this had, of course, mixed fuel in it. If we go like this, I went like this and I poured this. Pretty sure all the fuel had evaporated and all that's left is the oil. So yeah, that's just oil, which is good. All we're gonna do is we're just gonna dump some more right in its throat because it needs fuel to run. And what I'm really hoping is that it will just breathe to life. It holds but a teaspoon of fuel. Oh God, yeah, well, always the spill. Always the spill. It's just built into me to spill. The chain oil. Well, do we worry about it? In both of these jugs, you can probably see it here on the side. See the dark discoloration here and the general consistency and the tang to it? I get the impression that someone has determined that engine oil, a simple old 30 weight oil, was appropriate to use as bar oil. The benefit though to us is that that bar is virtually brand new. It doesn't even have the logo wore off of it, so I don't even think they barely ran the darn thing. It did have a little bit of sawdust in it. When I got it home, we were pressure washing the boat. Judith, the boat, if you haven't watched those videos, it sustained a tiny bit of damage, but we fixed it together. I still get some thank you comments on those videos, very flattering, even though I have no idea what I was doing. I was just documenting my fumbling process as we went through. She's for sale. We're gonna be totally open on that sale. Full disclosure, I did replace the lower unit with a reman unit or a salvage unit. I'll even tell them to watch the YouTube video. I mean, the worst we'll get out of it is a subscriber. We ran the boat, oh, I don't know, it was out a dozen times or more after I did that, and it works just fine. Forwards, reverse, floats. What more do you want? And, well, I'm taking a hit. Of course you're taking a hit. You wrecked the dang boat. So the parts were a wash. We're gonna sell it for a little bit less than we paid for it. And just full disclosure to a nice family that can maybe hit the water and get a little more use out of it than we are, because, well, as I allude to our new endeavors, my summer is quite jam-packed. All right, so being the case that I'm pretty certain that that was engine oil in here, and for better or worse, what I'm gonna do, oh yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, because I don't really want that in there. Oh, well, what was I saying? We were pressure washing the boat off, so I did give the saw a little juice with the pressure washer, cleaned it out. That's just a little friendly brake clean, that's fine. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. We're gonna give her one of these, dilute that oil that was in there. If you'll just excuse me for a second, I'm gonna step over to my eco-friendly waste oil container. Well, actually, you know what? I'm being a smartass about that. I have the perfect spot to dump this. Just bear with me a sec here. Well, let's walk together. I was gonna press stop record, but I'll tell you what, I miss you guys too. The videos, they're so spread out, and I do have such passion for it. Just wasn't doing it justice. And the work videos, which usually are excellent for content, and I've been trapped in a dang bathroom, as I mentioned. So what are you gonna do? See that? What's that? Oh, a log deck? And it's full of logs. Next Friday, with any luck, you'll get to join me. And we are bringing home the Spruce Stomper channel, very first shipment of cottonwood trees. If you're not familiar, picture a poplar tree, but humongous. We're gonna dump this in the fire pit because we need a little go-go juice. Yeah, I don't know what that, I'm certain that was engine oil. What do you guys think? Let's get a, like, look at that. See how dark that is? That is not bar oil. And if you're wondering why it's so festive in the fire pit, kid's birthday party. That was good, I'll tell you. You gotta get your kids into a group where they are with some other rough and tumble type kids raised outdoors. They were competitive, you know, we did old school stuff, you know, with some prizes and a bit of a piñata all outside. None of this fancy pants video game parties or nothing like that. It's not good for kids, so. All right, I got that rinsed out of there. I did it again, actually, off camera. I don't know what that oil was, but I am 99% sure that it was some sort of engine oil. And we'll just replace it with some proper bar oil. I'd rather spill gasoline than bar oil because gas evaporates and this bar oil plays for keeps. That's full enough. We don't need to spill, do we? It's kind of weird looking in there. It's a weird shaped tank by the looks of it. Now, just through my research, there's a couple guys that did excellent videos on full teardowns of these little Homelite Bandits. Apparently they came in red and black, red or black, depending on the vintage that you got, and the age. So I don't really know how to date this thing as of yet. I haven't looked into that far. If anyone watching, again, you never know who's watching, HQ 1710528 is the serial number. We'll give you one of those. Pause, take a snapshot if you're so inclined. And yeah, it'd be really awesome to date that thing and find out when exactly it came around. So you're looking at the extent of the rebuild from the garage sale, but I mean, gauging by the shape, the only thing that's gonna foil our plans here is gonna be, of course, stale gas and a gummed up carb, which I'm really hopeful that it's not gonna be, because this whole thing is encased in plastic. You literally have to take the entire engine out of the plastic case just to get the carburetor. And well, our company's showing up, so let's see if we can't get this to fire and put a smile on somebody's face. Full throttle, of course. Don't drop, start the chainsaw. Yeah, well, here we are. We should at least check for spark. Company thinks chainsaws are interesting too, don't they? I don't know if they do or don't. I'm not gonna ask them. See if we got spark. Because really, without spark, what do you have? A spark plug that ain't looking so hot. Oh yeah, all the spark. I'll tell you what, here, eat some of this brake clean. It'll give it something to do. And then we'll see if it'll fire. Should've just poured a little gas in there, eh? Flammable's flammable. What are you gonna do? Use what's handy, that's what I always say. All right. Oh, maybe no choke now. Forgot I had the choke on. That's pretty good. That's pretty promising. Right out of the gate. Come on. That thing's been sitting for years in some old lady's basement. I swear I didn't try it before. And if you think I'm lying, here. See? Cold. We want to make sure we're transparent on the channel. Well, it has a half choke position. Maybe we'll try that. It does not like getting fuel. We'll just let it warm up for a sec. I can't believe it works. The company's arriving. Nobody wanted to come down and see the chainsaw. Let's see if it cuts anything. I also didn't sharpen it. You guys gotta get lucky once in a while, right? I mean, when you win, you win. I'll tell you what's gotta go though. This supposed safety tip, that is a hunk of crap. I don't have a wrench for it. You guys sit tight. I'm gonna go get a wrench because the only thing that is doing is causing frustration. Safety tip for the homeowner. It's not good for my mental health, so it's gotta go. All the inventions, in the world in the name of safety. I think the only thing they ever did was figure out how to get people to part with their money. So pretty simple premise. It shows a lot of funny graphics, pictures in the manual of people sawing their leg off because you don't have that. But with that on there, you cannot go and cut anywhere but here. You can't follow through with anything with that little short dinky bar on there. So that's got to go. The other thing I don't know is if it's oiling. Not that I was really looking too hard. It's got a real complicated chain adjustment by the looks of it. And by complicated, I mean you just pull real hard on the bar and hope you get it tight enough. Tighten that up. There we go. Did I get it? I don't know. Let the internet experts decide. Good enough for the girls we go with. Let's flash it back up and give it a real technical test to see if any oil's coming out the tip. See if she's got a little drip in the tip, eh? I think that presents us with two problems. One, it is oiling a little bit, but I think it needs a little more brake clean to thin out whatever's clogged up in the lines, and 2, the chain was loose for a reason. It does not have the horsepower to turn the chain when it's tightened up that much. So a little fine adjustment here. All right, let's give her one last chew here through the slab pile. We're gonna need a little more TLC, but we'll bring it back in another video. I actually want to keep this. I think it'd be handy for, well, who am I kidding? Just to keep, because we hoard things. That's the way she goes. So one last chew through, and well, as always, we'll see you on the next adventure. Hopefully a lot closer together than the videos have been, folks. I really appreciate you sticking with me, and we'll catch you on the next one.